I have all sorts of knickknacks on my desk. I've got Red from Transistor. I've got the best Disney character. That's right. And I've got this awesome gopher and plenty more. But this gopher is what I want to talk about today. So I got this gopher at Gophercon in 2018, 2019. I don't remember the exact year actually. It was pre quarantine. So, yeah, probably 2018 or 2019. The point being, I went to Gophercon and it was a really awesome experience. And here's the spoiler: I'm going to suggest you try to go to a conference. In fact, I'll do it right now. I suggest you go to a conference. I know that it's difficult, it's hard to afford them, but I want to give you a couple of ideas that might help make them more affordable. So I've got Gophercon up here. You don't have to go to Gophercon, you can go to other conferences. I will be at Gophercon New York in what, like 3 weeks? This is the one that is top of mind for me. If you're there, I would love it if you stop me and say hi. So if you see me, feel free to stop me in the hallway, introduce yourself. I would love to meet you in person. Enough of that. Let's talk about getting you to a conference. So maybe we should talk about why first, though. So conferences for me are very energizing. I have friends who do software development, but their interests often aren't the same as mine, or they're not as interested in exploring painfully bleeding edge things like I am. They like languages that, they feel productive in. Don't get me wrong, I do too, but I also like exploring other random things. Getting the opportunity to have a deep dive from some of the experts in their field as they talk about the things that they're experts in is invigorating for me. Also, when I got this gopher, I was working at a fully remote company, and we had a team, a big chunk of our company, a chunk of our company, not big, not small, somewhere in between. We met at Gophercon, and since it was a remote company, that was the first time I had met some of these people or really spent time with them. We went to conference talks together. We spent time after the talks together, getting dinner, going out and seeing San Diego, which was cool. It was my first time in San Diego as well, and it was a really great team bonding experience. But during the day, we were talking with experts in their field and hearing those experts talk about the things that are important to them. I had a really interesting talk that I went to about the assembler instructions that are built from Go and how you can optimize Go for optimizing the assembler instructions that Go produces, and just things that like would never have come up in my day to day. Outside of that, you get an opportunity to connect with other companies who are invested in the field. So in the case of Gophercon, it's people who are invested in Go and probably are hiring Go devs, several other things. There are fun activities. There are workshops that take up large chunks of the day that are essentially like really hands-on deep dive conference talks where you're expected to participate. So you might be building something with someone who has already built it before. They might be showing you how to build things. Okay, so now that you're hopefully convinced that conferences are a great thing to go to, let's talk about some of the options to make it more affordable. So for tickets, I don't think Gophercon will let me see tickets anymore because I think they are past the date that you can buy tickets. But from this screen, we can make a couple of inferences, right? So there's a 5% discount for groups of 5 to 9 and a 10% discount for groups of 10. So if you can find 10 other people or 9 other people, maybe that you work with who are interested in going, you can get a discount, which is awesome. Anything that helps save money is great. And if you can also make the case that, hey, we have 10 people who want to go. If we go together, we can save 10%. It might make it even easier for the company that you work for to help offer to pay for things, which is the next tip. If you have a learning and growth or growth and development or whatever these budgets are called these days at the company you work for, there is a chance, a pretty good one, that you can use it to attend a conference. And a lot of those budgets will include flight to the conference, lodging at the conference, so your hotel, and the conference admission itself. If you really have a nice budget, you also might have an opportunity to do workshops as well. Generally, workshops cost extra on top of the ticket to get to the conference, or to be at the conference, I should say. But that's something to think about too. Additionally, if you work for a nonprofit or are a student, a lot of conferences will give you discounts on both workshops and ticket prices to attend the conference as well. Another option too. So looking at Gophercon here, another option is you could also offer to speak at the conference. So you could submit a proposal, and if that proposal is accepted, I would imagine that your ticket is covered as well. You might have to figure out lodging on yourself. I'm not really sure. I spoke at Kansas City Developer Conference in 2013. No, 2013, and I'm pretty sure my lodging was paid for as well, but I don't remember exactly. On top of that, there's also a scholarship program for Gophercon, and I would imagine plenty of other conferences probably do something as well. So they limited number of scholarships each year to community members in need. Gophercon specifically calls out that they're looking for diversity in areas such as gender, race, and nationality, but they consider limited financial means as well. Again, Gophercon is in 3 weeks, so I think the processes are kind of closed down, but actually ends August 28th. So no, yeah, you can still apparently get some tickets, which is pretty cool. And it's just in 16 days. So what if you don't want to go to Gophercon? So many of you are here and you are probably more interested in Zig than Gophercon. To my knowledge, there's not a big Zig conference, like an official ZigCon or ZiguanaCon or whatever fun stuff we would come up with. But there is software you can love. So I just finished talking with Loris Crow a couple days ago. He is the VP of Community for the Zig Software Foundation. He also runs the Software You Can Love conference. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe he is the organizer of it as well. So Software You Can Love. There's some information on it. Here's some of the conferences that have happened in the past. So there was one in Italy in 2024. I think 2025 was also in Italy. Vancouver, Canada for 2023. So, you know, you could, 2020. Oh, this is 2024. I'm not sure where 2025 was. But you could go to a conference like this as well. And there's all sorts of fun stuff like optional workshops, including how to build C and C++ projects with Zig, intro to 2D game dev with the mock engine. This is super cool. I've been exploring the mock engine a little bit in my spare time. I don't know if I need to try my hand at game dev, but anyways, something really neat and relevant to my interests as well. So you could go to a conference like that. If you're a React dev, you could go to something like React Rally. You could go to Flutter and Friends if you're a Flutter dev, PyCon, RubyCon, I think, RailsConf maybe. There are conferences for everyone. So whether you prefer just to go in and write Java and you want to go to Business Enterprise Con or whatever the Java conference is called, that's an option. You want to go to something fun and funky like Gophercon, that's an option. There's Strange Loop, which is another really interesting option. So plenty of things you could look at. I would strongly suggest trying to get to a conference, especially if you've never been to one, and go into it with an open mind. They have been huge game changers for me and my career and my pursuit of knowledge, and I would love for them to do the same for you. I think that's it. I'm starting to ramble, as I often do. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I would appreciate a like if you found this video useful. It helps me, it helps the algorithm, and ultimately I'd like to think that that helps you. And if you haven't yet, join us on the Discord server. So many new people have started popping up and have been having conversations with, and it's been a great experience. So I would like to connect more with you. And again, if you go to Gophercon, say hi. I would love to meet you in person. I think it would be great for both of us. I think that's it. Thank you and have a great day.